Hello, and welcome to The Connection. This podcast is about understanding and building the connection we have with others and with ourselves. I hope that through this podcast you will learn to have more joy and fulfillment in your life. I'm your host, Jared Hurst. So, a few weeks ago on the podcast, I talked about the pain of heartbreak. And I want to spend a little time today talking about a very important part of that process. I want to start by having you think about a major heartbreak in your life. This is a time in your life where you are dealing with the loss of someone you truly loved and cared about. Do you have someone in mind? Well, if you think back to that experience, at first you thought about them all the time. And the pain was excruciating, right? Eventually, over time, you started to think about them a little less, and when you did think about them, the pain wasn't as intense as it used to be. Now, let's say we fast forward to after you had been grieving for a while. Even though things were getting easier, you still felt like there was something missing. Can you remember that? What did you do when you realized things were getting better, but you still needed some sort of closure? At some point, you decided it was time to let go. But how do we do that? For me, I recently had something similar, and I want to share an example. In the last 2 years, I've had 2 incredibly painful heartbreaks. One was a relationship, and one was a friendship. Both ended for various reasons, but the point is, I've been struggling with that pain. I started asking myself, how can I let go and move on? I didn't realize what I was doing, but I felt deep down that I needed closure. I needed answers, so I reached out to my past romantic relationship. With my past relationships, I knew that I wanted clarity. I wanted to be able to make sure that there weren't any misunderstandings around our experience together. I wanted to apologize. I hoped to receive forgiveness. I wanted to express my appreciation of them. And I wanted to see if there was any way to have some level of connection with them. A connection where I could move on, but still have her children in my life. So what did I do? I asked. And the answer I got back from her was incredibly loving and kind. Yet at the same time, a resounding no. She wasn't and isn't in the space to have a conversation with me, no matter what my intentions are. So for me, I was really disappointed that things didn't work out how I'd hoped. But she had that right. Everyone has the right to grieve and set boundaries in a way that makes sense for them. You might not agree with someone's decisions, but they have that right. Here's the lesson that I learned in all of this. And hopefully you can see where this was true in your experience or where this could help you. What is closure? What is it I really wanted? What I wanted was acceptance. What I wanted was an inciting event. Now you might be asking, what the heck is an inciting event? The inciting event is what happens that starts everything else in motion. In books, it's that big thing that everything else starts from. In Harry Potter, it's his parents dying and he lives. In The Hunger Games, it's Prue having her name drawn from the bowl and Katniss volunteering to take her place. The inciting incident is the event, and it's the catalyst for action. So how does this apply to letting go? When we are letting go of someone, we can create our own inciting event. The event that we use to help us accept the reality of our situation. That's what I was missing from this past relationship. I hadn't yet come to accept my new reality. That's really all I was missing in order to help myself move on. I needed something I could use for closure. Now, not every heartbreak needs a catalyst that we use for closure. But when you're struggling to let go, sometimes it can be just what the doctor ordered. It starts by figuring out what you want. In a perfect world, what would you want to help you move on? It's not a logical question. It's an emotional one. It's something you feel in your gut that feels right. You ask yourself the question and simply wait for the response to come. Once you have that answer of what you want, you ask for whatever it is. If you ask someone for something and you get a no, that can be your catalyst. If you ask for something and you get no response at all, that can be your catalyst. If you ask for something and you get what you want, that can be your catalyst. No matter the result, we can use that event to move on and let go. Sometimes that event has already happened. Sometimes trying to reach out to a past relationship is going to cause nothing but pain. In that case, my suggestion is the best thing to do is start looking at your past interactions for a catalyst. Once you find that event, use it to accept your new reality. It might be them walking out of your life. It might be them refusing to respond to you over time. It could be any number of things, but there's something that you can use in your past with that person to be the catalyst for acceptance of where things are now. The key to all this is acceptance. Think what you might have done in the past while trying to let go. Like, what are the things that you've done in the past while you were trying to let go? Like, what behaviors have kept you from moving on in the past? And let me ask you, can you move on and let go of a relationship if you're constantly dreaming of what could have been? Can you move on if you dream up new scenarios and create new memories that never happened? Can you move on if you have hope that things are going to change between the two of you? No, you can't let go of something if you're still holding on to it. Think about it. Can you let go of something that you are holding on to? It's literally not possible. And it's the same thing with our emotions. You can't let go of a relationship that you're still holding on to. But how often do we try to let go of somebody while we still look at their social media, while we still listen to the songs that we love together, while we still hold out hope for a future together? The only way to let go is to stop doing the things that connect us to them. You might be wondering, but what if things change? Look, you can let go, you can accept the reality of how things are, and then if somehow magically things change, you can reevaluate things then. If they come back to you someday in the future begging for forgiveness, you can see what you feel at that point, where you're at that point. But don't go forward with your life looking in the rearview mirror. You deserve better. You deserve to have someone in your life that wants you for you. Someone that both loves you exactly how you are, but also loves you enough to want to grow with you. And you deserve that for yourself. My friend Henry Amar says it very eloquently when he says, love yourself enough to love yourself where you are, and love yourself enough to want more for yourself. You can both love yourself where you're at and want to grow. You are enough and you can want to improve. We all can. We all need to improve. We all need to be better. But we are also enough as we are. Find the person that sees where you're at, loves you for it, and sees what you're capable of. Find the person who will cheer for you as you take the path that you want to take, not someone who will push you down the path that they want you to take. The right person is going to see your value, they'll see your beauty, and they'll love you for it. The wrong person won't appreciate you because their value system isn't in alignment with what you have to offer. That's not something wrong with you. It just means it's not the right fit. It means that what they value is not what you have to offer. That's not a condemnation on you and what you have to offer. It just means that you don't have the right person that sees it. What you need to do is go be the person you truly want to be, and your people will find you. I know the right people will be attracted to you as you stop trying to be what everybody else wants you to be, and you start being what you want you to be. Stop letting self-conscious thoughts and the desires of other people control the life that you want to have. I'm so grateful that you took the time to be with me today, and I'm excited for many more experiences together. That's all for this week. Until next week, remember that you are not alone.